Hello, darlings. Today we're going to talk about depression and our kids and what we can do about it. Why the fuck are our kids so depressed? Personally, this is something going on in our world. Everybody I know has this stuff going on in their world. I'm on mothers groups on the Book of Faces, and it's a question asked multiple times a day. Why is my kid so depressed, and what can I do about it? So, here we go. First of all, why? Why are our kids depressed? Why? What's going on? What's going on? Okay, so there's a lot that goes into that, as you all know. So, our kids are stressed. Our kids are stressed. Our kids are so stressed that they are not capable of dealing with that stress because we've never given them the tools to do so. That's another video. I won't go there today. What's stressing our kids? School. Kids are not designed to sit in a chair for 7 to 8 hours and have to actually ask permission for every little thing. Can I sharpen my pencil? Can I go to the bathroom? Can I? They're not designed to do that. They're designed to be free and playing and exploring and seeing what the world is all about. That is what it's children. Let them go. Let them be children. Okay. We're at school. We've got tests. We've got grades. I can't tell you how many times my daughter was nauseous or like sick in her stomach because, oh my God, I have a test coming up. Literally would get herself just wrapped up. My son as well. Just totally wound up, worried about a test or a project or something that's coming up. Y'all, it's just school. You're there to learn. It's not the end of the world. It's not the rest of your life. It's not. Yes, it's the rest of your life for some people. We're not gonna go there. Okay, bullies and just other kids that they have to fucking deal with. Bullies they're a big thing. They're a real thing. They're totally a big fucking thing that happens to every one of our kids all the fucking time. Unless your kid is the bully. So here's a rabbit hole for you. How about this? Our school systems are based off of the Prussian, modern day Germany, school systems designed by Johann Gottlieb Fichte. I don't know, Fichte. Go down that rabbit hole. Remember how I was talking about how kids are not designed, they're not supposed to be sitting in a... That rabbit hole shows you what I mean when I talk about that one. Okay, sorry. Just a little teaser on that. The primary goals of this system were not intellectual training, but rather conditioning the students for obedience, subordination, and collective life. That's right off of fucking Google. Google that shit. That is what our school systems are based off of. And revisit that, making our kids sit in a room, raise their hands to go to the bathroom, churn through their lives for 7 to 8 hours a day. Okay, sorry. They're overly busy. Kids are overly busy. They've got outside activities. So not only are they sitting in school 7 to 8 hours a day, then they go to whatever activities. They're in chess club, they're in football, they're in soccer, they're in gymnastics, they're in cricket, they're in fucking curling. It doesn't matter. There's just so many things that we're filling our kids' time with. And I think that so many of us as we grew up, feral creatures, and like had no guidance and no anybody showing us, I think that we've kind of gone the opposite direction, right? We had nobody. We were latchkey kids, and now all of a sudden we are going to be in the middle of it all. So, let's play football. Let's play baseball. Let's play, I mean, how much of these things do your kids really want to do? Because that gives them just that much more pressure to perform, right? So they have tests and projects and bullshit at school. Now they have games and challenges. The pressure for a kid to perform well in a game is huge. That third strikeout in a baseball game, bottom of the ninth. I mean, seriously, that shit hits hard. It really does. And then you got more bullies, right? So that's one more area, one more avenue for asshole children to get in there and fuck with your kids and give them something to have a complex about. Now, are they rock stars? Fuck yeah, awesome, great. But did they make a mistake? Yeah, they did, because we're human. We're not perfect, so we make mistakes. And yet, all of those little assholes on their team or the other teams or whatever are going to give them shit for it, and they're not going to live it down. And so it's just one more area where we're opening them up to have unnecessary stress.
That's why they pay athletes these fantastic salaries. I was listening to the radio the other day. They just contracted to pay one player on one team $6 million a year. Can you believe this?
And why is that?
It's the Roman circus. What does the emperor do when the people become restive, and when the people are asking questions, and when the people don't like the policies of the emperor? He sends them to the circus. He creates a circus. He builds a giant coliseum. And he begins to throw the Christians to the lions. And he has great chariot races and football games and basketball games, all to keep the idiots preoccupied with things that don't mean anything in the scheme of the entire world, so that they don't have the time to learn what the truth is, so they don't ever get smart enough to learn how they're being manipulated, so they don't ever question the emperor.
How about your parents, caregivers? So many of us, our relationships are a narcissist empath. Relationship, okay? So the narcissist is doing all kinds of damage to our kids because they have to be perfect, because, well, that makes them look good, right? They have very, very high standards that they require those children to perform at so that they look good, okay? Then, oh wait, that's just more stress, right? Then as the empathic parent, we are causing stress because we're trying to pacify the narcissist, which sometimes means that we are overcompensating and stressing the kids out to make sure that whatever it is over here isn't going to happen, right? I remember fucking running through the house, is anything out of place? Because if anything was out of place, when my ex-husband got home, if there was anything out of place, there was a 50-50 chance that he was going to fucking blow up and be in a bad mood. And so I would rush through looking for that, and I put the pressure on my kids. Clean this up, do this, oh my God, oh my, to appease the narcissist. I created a sense of stress, desperation in my own children in preparing for their father to get home. It was a survival tactic. It kept the house peaceful, but I still, in enabling his bullshit damaged my children. And I taught them to appease the narcissist for peace. Parents and caregivers, what if somebody's got an addiction problem? What if somebody has emotional issues? These are supposed to be the people who are teaching our children, the parents, the mom, that we're the ones supposed to be teaching our children how to deal with this stuff. And if we can't deal with it, if we seek a bottle to be able to numb ourselves, if we seek coping mechanisms, alcohol, things that it doesn't teach our children how to do this. So we're a huge part of their depression because we are creating issues for them. Don't say you're not. We all are. We all are. Because we don't know any better. Because we're still trying to figure this out. Teachers, coaches, I have had over the years, I've got 15 years of schooling now. We've had a few teachers where we've had issues. We've had issues where teachers were just like insulting and assholes. Coaches are, I can't speak for all of them because I do believe that there are some nice ones, but I have seen some of the biggest douchebags on the side of a football field or a basketball court. Just saying. These strong personality types, these ones that are berating your children, we're allowing that. Once again, we're showing our children that they're deserving of being berated because we're going out of our way to put them in an environment that puts them in that environment. Does that make sense? I mean, we drop them off. Here you go. Go spend some quality time with your douchebag coach. The fuck? Seriously? Okay. And then here's my next reason. Kids. Other kids are fucking assholes. Kids are assholes. They really are. There is so much social pressure on our children today. Social media. Oh, good Lord. Right? The bullying that happens over social media. And here's the thing. That schools, if there's bullying and shit going on, the schools most of the time can't do anything about it because it's not being done on anything they control. You can be in the middle of fucking PE class and somebody is posting shit on Instagram. So literally in school still, but the school won't do anything because of the fact that it's on Instagram, not something they can control. So kids have so much pressure coming at them from all freaking directions, right? Society and norms in society. I mean, for fuck's sake, we're pressured to look a certain way, right? Think about that Victoria's Secret model look that all women are supposed to strive for. Think of, guys are supposed to be tall, broad. There's the look. There is societal norms. There's ways you're supposed to act. There's things you're supposed to like. And all of these things, if you don't fit in that in that norm, and you're outside the norm, well, all of a sudden there's something wrong with you, right? As a child, as an adolescent, as a young person, if you are not straight and narrow, fitting in with everybody else, there is something wrong with you. It's just how that's our society. That's what we. They classify stress in 3 potential categories: positive stress, tolerable stress, and toxic stress. Okay? Positive stress is a response to a normal, healthy development, right? So it's like a brief increase of the heart rate and hormone levels, like the first day of school or your first piano recital. Okay? particularly beneficial, right? They're calling it a positive stress because if that stress motivates you to prepare more or try harder, then it's a good stress, okay? Tolerable stress is a response that activates the body's alert system to a greater degree. Examples of tolerable stress include a frightening car accident or being admitted to the hospital. If it's time limited and buffered by relationships with adults who help the child adapt, the brain and other organs recover from what might otherwise be damaging effects. Now, toxic stress response can occur when a child experiences strong, frequent, and or prolonged adversity, which results in changes to their baseline state. Examples of toxic stress include physical or emotional abuse, chronic neglect, caregiver substance abuse or mental illness, exposure to violence, or the accumulated burdens of family economic hardship. This disrupts the brain architecture and other organs. It increases your risk for stress-related diseases and cognitive impairment well into the adult years. It goes on to talk about how having the support, a healthy relationship support from an adult for a child determines whether the resulting stress will be tolerable or toxic. So toxic stress does brain damage. It weakens the architecture of the developing brain, which can lead to lifelong problems in learning, behavior, and physical and mental health. When a child experiences toxic stress, the hypothalamic, pituitary, and adrenal hormone axis is overactivated. This results in blood levels of the stress hormone cortisol being higher, which can result in long-term changes in inflammation and immunity. The Adverse Childhood Experience Study created awareness on this toxic stress. It showed that adverse childhood experiences in categories of abuse, household challenges, and neglect are not only associated with worse mental health outcomes, but also with chronic health conditions such as diabetes, heart disease, chronic obstruction, pulmonary disease, liver disease, cancer, among many other adult conditions. Okay, so that is just talking about stress. Now, fight or flight. Anybody ever heard of that? Like you're really stressed out, something happens, back in that acute stress that we were talking about there. Fight or flight is designed for a tiger. There's a tiger come up. Oh my God, I gotta get the fuck out of here, right? So you are designed, by design, what fight or flight does is it releases the hormone cortisol that we were just talking about in the stress thing, right? To make the body more alert and to prepare you to be able to face that stress that's coming. It gives you a heightened state of awareness, faster breathing, heart rate elevates, blood pressure elevates, a rise in your blood cholesterol, an increase in your muscle tension, right? So what happens is like your large muscle groups decide, fuck it, that's where all your energy goes. It shuts down your digestive system. It shuts down your endocrine system. It shuts down any unnecessary systems so that you can get the fuck away. Now, what happens when you live in that 24/7? Now you go into fight or flight. That means your digestive system and your hormones and all of that stuff is completely out of whack. So, gut microbiome So my gut microbiome is a huge reason for depression. That comes down to is several things. So first of all, the foods that you're eating, your additives, right? Hold on, I gotta show you this. All right, food coloring. So this is according to University of California Medical Center, blah, 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 school. Okay. The FDA permits 9 artificial food colorings, red 40, yellow 5, and yellow 6 are the 3 most widely used. The amount of AFCs, artificial food colorings, allowed by the FDA has increased 5-fold from 12 milligrams per capita per, I don't know what the D is, whatever, in 1950 to 62 milligrams in 2010. In 2011, the FDA cited research that indicated that AFCs cause behavioral problems in children, but there was no change in policy. A new study from Purdue in April of 2021 was the first of its kind to measure the actual amount of AFCs in the processed foods and beverages. The research concluded that the levels being consumed by children in the US were considerably higher than previously thought. Popular breakfast cereals had up to 41 milligrams of AFCs. Candy had up to 33.3 milligrams per serving, and beverages had up to 52.3 milligrams. Behavioral tests found as little as 30 milligrams can cause adverse reactions. The research conducted in the 70s and 80s that found an association between AFCs and behavioral problems gave children around 26 milligrams. And we have breakfast cereal giving your kid 41 milligrams. And yet in the 70s, we found that 26 was affecting children. How about additives in our foods? How about our processed foods? Processed foods are going to be full of crap. And they're horrible for us. I mean, they're not just horrible for our bodies, they're horrible for our mind. Artificial sweeteners, get rid of it. White flour, get rid of it. Concentrated fructose, so this goes for dextrose, corn, high fructose corn syrup, lactose, sucrose, or fructose. It doesn't matter, any of them. High sodium foods disrupt your body's immune system. It leads to cognitive impairment and depression. Refined sugar, depression, cardiovascular, diabetes, cancer, and depression. Hydrogenated oils, it's there to extend shelf life, but causes inflammation and dysfunction of the endothelium, which can lead to depression and cardiovascular disease. Alcohol, we shouldn't have to be worrying about this with our kids, but older kids, absolutely we can. It is a depressant. Alcohol is a fucking depressant. It literally puts you in a low caffeine, and I think mostly that's because of the fact that caffeine's usually in a bunch of sugary shit, right? So not many people just pour a cup of coffee. It's got creamer in it that's going to have all your hydrogenated oils and sugars, and it's going to have or it's going to be in sodas, anyway, okay. It does disrupt the way your body sleeps, the way your body regulates. So caffeine does have issues there. Dairy is another one that's fucking fascinating. High fat dairy products with increased risks of depression. Casein A dairy protein leads to inflammation. Cheese, ice cream, milk, and yogurt all contain this protein, which studies link not only to depression, but also schizophrenia and other psychiatric disorders. And then here's a little factoid for you. Dairy also contains compounds that engage the opiate receptors of the human brain and cause a mild addiction similar to that of morphine. So when people say they're addicted to cheese, they're not fucking lying. They really are. They really fucking are addicted to cheese. GMOs and conventional foods. So GMOs and conventionally farmed foods contain all kinds of chemical compounds. So I'm not going to go down the GMO thing, but let's talk about just quickly all of the pesticides and fertilizers and all of that stuff that ends up in your food when you buy conventionally grown produce. Always soak your fruits and vegetables. If you don't have a Kangen where you can get a high acidity water, use baking soda and water and soak them for 10-15 minutes, and you'll be amazed at the kind of shit that comes off of them. All of that waxy residue, all of the yeah, it's just gross. It just is. And then don't forget that all of those pesticides and all that stuff, that's in that food, so you're getting that. And then fast foods. Public Health Nutrition, it was a study published in the Public Health Nutrition, stated that people who eat fast food are 51% more likely to develop depression. Foods served in fast food restaurants are higher in calories, contain trans fats and hydrogenated oils. These foods cause systematic inflammation, affecting the neurotransmitters that regulate mood. This inflammation leads to depression, or can cause depressive symptoms to worsen. Isn't that fun? So then we have hormones. Why is your kid depressed? Hormones. So not only are they dealing with all of this social bullshit, they're eating things that they like by their flavors. They're eating things that are yummy to their taste buds, but they're wreaking havoc on their bodies. And those foods and other things are wreaking havoc on their hormones, right? So not only is adolescence and growing into your hormones and figuring all of that stuff out harder than hell anyways, because I don't know about you guys, but I do remember those days of being like, whoa! It's fucking crazy. So then we have endocrine disruptors in fucking everything, right? So your endocrine system is what regulates your hormones, right? So fragrance. Anytime you see the word fragrance on any label, put it down. That's where they hide the endocrine, that's where they hide the phthalates and the endocrine disruptors and the things that they don't want to tell you what it is. Fragrance. And that goes for your freaking plugins and your wall. Just saying. Phthalates. Phthalates are something that's added to plastics to make plastics more pliable, whatever. We end up with phthalates in us because they're contaminated from plastics. Like, you buy lovely package of jalapenos at the grocery store, and they're on a plastic tray wrapped in plastic. Anytime anything touches plastic, it's absorbing, or we're absorbing that stuff. So those are coming. So, phthalates are also in your cooking. They're very, very high in the non-stick pans and stuff. Yeah. So as you're cooking on them, you're getting more of those in there. Oh, another one. You know the little, on your razor, right? So you're shaving, it has that little strip on the top that gets gooey, but it's what do they call it? They call it I don't know. I don't know. It's supposed to be there to help it glide, right? That has phthalates in it. So even your fucking razor that you're shaving your legs with is jacking with your hormones. Phthalates are found in all your cosmetics, by the way. Like, not all of them, but like most of your people that don't give a shit brands, the ones that are big corporate that are just out there to make $1, they're in all of those. And just so you know, phthalates have an exacerbated effect on children. So if it jacks with your hormones this much, it's going to jack with their hormones this much. Does that make sense? I mean, it's just like amplified around kids. Phthalates have been known to reduce testosterone directly. I mean, like that has been directly found. Phthalates have also been known to exacerbate endometriosis. Then we could also have another reason for your kid being depressed. They could be empathetic to just absorbing the negativity around them. There's so much negativity around here, right? So we all have like an empathetic side to us. And if we haven't learned to be able to control that, like be able to dial it back or be able to protect ourselves and our energy, we're absorbing, and our kids are absorbing the negativity of people around them. So if you feel like your kid's a huge empath and like absorbing negativity off of their friends or family members or this, that, and whatever, teach them how to protect their energy. I did a video called The Armor of God, how to protect your energy or something like that. But totally, that's a really easy way. Another really fun thing that causes depression that nobody ever fucking thinks about in the United States: parasites. Like literally parasites, little buggies in your belly and in your gut and in your eyeballs and in your skin and in your liver and everywhere. Let me share with you some parasite symptoms. Parasite symptoms: stomach cramps and pain, nausea, vomiting, dehydration, weight loss, swollen lymph nodes, digestive problems including unexplained constipation, diarrhea, bloating, or persistent gas, skin infections such as rashes, eczema, hives, and itching, continuous muscle and joint pain, fatigue even when you get enough sleep, depression or feeling of apathy, never feeling full even after eating a big meal, constant hunger even when you're eating enough, iron deficiency, anemia, lack of trace elements, grinding your teeth during sleep, unexplained feelings of anxiety, recurring yeast infections, itching of the anus or the vagina, itching, redness, irritation, and unusual discharge from the genital areas, trouble falling asleep or waking up multiple times during the night, nocturnal salivation, drooling during your sleep, again, gnashing of the teeth. They're talking about, they got like that a lot. Evening sweets cravings, abdominal pain after eating pumpkin seeds. So that's an interesting one. Go down that rabbit hole. Pumpkin seeds and parasites. Dark rings around the eyes, refractory anemia. In children's, parasites are expressed by itching of the anus around 10 o'clock in the evening. As the worms come out to lay their eggs, they're also extremely active on the full moon. low immunity, restlessness, memory gaps, headaches, salt or sugar cravings, dizziness, increased mucus or skin secretions, itching of the skin. Oh wait, there's another side. There's a backside too, sorry. Cough, runny nose, postnasal drip, hair loss, baldness, dandruff, nails flaking and breaking. Sometimes you'll have a fever, menstrual irregularities, or heart attacks. So all of those are symptoms that come along with a parasite infection. Or, if you have parasites in your body. Those are pretty easy to deal with. And it's an easy fix. Now, when you have children, there's a little of a challenge there. For yourself, it's easy to fix. But yeah, we got buggies. We got buggies running through everything, right? We've also got another huge thing that causes depression is heavy metal toxicity. We got our very first massive dose of heavy metals and mercury within hours of being born. And every vaccination since has had all kinds of heavy metals in it. Then we also get heavy metals from the foods and the water we drink, right? So there can be heavy metals and stuff in water. The chemicals that are sprayed on foods, those are going to have heavy metal type stuff. Skincare, personal care items, think about it, deodorant has aluminum. That's what keeps, that makes it antiperspirant, it makes it work. And your body's absorbing that. Sunscreens have all kinds of metals in them. Dental fillings. Printout on that? I don't have a printout. You're lucky you don't have a printout for me to read on that one. Okay. Next, radiation from all the electronics around us. Okay. So, alternating current, the alternating current, like the power outlets, everything in our fucking house is putting off radiation for like 6 feet around it, right? Are they small doses? Yes. But is it small doses all damn day, every fucking day? Yes. And so that's the stuff that builds up. Then let's start adding things like radio waves, your wireless router, right? We got wireless all through everything. I got wireless here, I got wireless there, I got wireless fucking everywhere. We got wireless light bulbs, right? There's a signal coming off of those things. 5G and cell towers, power lines. There is just so much that is affecting our body's energy that we completely don't think about. Then I'm gonna go woo on you here. Ascension of the planet. Our planet is a living creature, organism, entity, living entity. Our planet is a living entity. She is ascending, which means she is raising her vibration, which means that we are all along for the ride because we live on her. there are ascension symptoms that you could look at. So ascension symptoms: headaches, migraines, or fuzzy head, flu-like symptoms like the body ache, muscles, sore joints, heat rising in your body. Heat rising in your body is going to be talking about like either fevers or just feeling flushed or hot, increased inflammation in the body, anxiety, depression, dizziness, lightheadedness, ears ringing, loud tones that sound like tuning forks in one or both ears, thymus fluttering, or sometimes people feel them as heart palpitations, blurry vision, sore eyes, eye ticks, waking between 2 and 4, memory loss, inability to sleep, an innate need to feel free, change of diet. And just an aside here, your body literally is craving real food. And when I say real food, I mean things that grow from the earth. Shifting friends and families, or shifting friends or family rifts, so family dynamics changing. Increased in your clairabilities, that's clairaudience, claircognizance, all of your intuitive abilities, you start seeing them more often. Overly emotional, vivid dreams, sinus running, sneezing, stomach and bowel issues, back issues, feeling that everything you've ever known is a lie. Yeah, sure. While science isn't going to take you down this path, those of us who are on the spiritual path will tell you that this ascension is real and this ascension is truly affecting us. Schumann resonance is something that you can look at to kind of get yourself an idea of if, we've got ascension type stuff happening at the current moment. Schumann resonance is basically the heartbeat of the planet. I did a whole other video on it. I haven't even looked at it to edit yet because that's me in editing. Anyway, Schumann resonance historically has been at 7.83 hertz, which is ironically the same as the human body. It has been steadily increasing in waves since 2003, according to Dolores Cannon. I personally have watched major shifts and increases in waves happen since that great conjunction, the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction at 0 degrees in Aquarius on the winter solstice in 2020. What was it, 12/21/20? I have seen the Schumann resonance, remember, 7.83 hertz, hit as high as 92. I have seen it go as low as almost 0. So if it goes way high, that means that the energy in the world around you, on the planet beneath you, over 11 and a half times higher, if it comes in at 92, than what you're used to it being. Don't you think that's going to affect you? Fuck yeah, it does. I've had some of the worst migraines I have ever experienced thanks to Ascension. I mean, like, debilitating for weeks. A lot of spiritual people will tell you that there are light codes and downloads that are being brought in with these higher energies into the body to help us with our ascension, right? A lot of spiritual people will tell you that when you have these pains, like for the last week, I have had just like random, like right in the middle of my femur, just a freaking pain, and it goes away. And then it hits somewhere else. It's just like random fucking pain. But what it is the purging of stuck energy. It is the purging of energies that your body has been holding onto. That it needs to let go. Okay? I'm going to try and wrap this up pretty quick because I can't believe how fucking much I've been talking. Okay. So, Nakona, you've told us all these fucking things that are going on. Why is my kid depressed? Okay, great. Now what do I do about it? All right, bye.